A pink-haired customer loses her absolute mind over a ridiculous $3 million price tag, pointing out that a basic blue slime shouldn't cost more than pocket change. But our boy Lou just smiles like a salesman who knows exactly what he's doing, claiming this little jelly ball is worth every single penny of its outrageous price, since she could easily buy a high-tier battle pet for that kind of cash. Surprisingly, the young shop owner agrees with her logic instead of starting a fight, before flashing a smug grin that screams he has a massive trump card, revealing that this mutant slime can devour resources to evolve into a literal god, leaving the skeptical customer demanding actual proof before she drops her life savings. So he dares her to test it out and witness the magic herself. Before they can test the slime, a pair of high heels struts into the shop, revealing Lu Yu's smug ex-girlfriend who immediately mocks him for getting kicked out of his family, prompting our boy to glare at her while wondering why she even showed up, only for her to boast about checking on her talentless ex who cannot tame beasts. Hearing this, the pink-haired customer is completely baffled that a talentless guy runs a pet shop, but Lu Yu calmly shrugs it off, stating his lack of talent does not stop his sales, while his ex condescendingly tells him to just accept his fate as a useless nobody, leaving the pink-haired customer absolutely disgusted by this real-life cartoon villainess strutting around. So Lu Yu flashes a warm smile and tells her to ignore trashy people. Now completely fired up, the customer demands to test the slime to expose the real scammer. Feeding the slime a silver quality meal, the pink-haired customer watches with intense anticipation, and right before their eyes, the little jelly ball completely absorbs the energy, triggering a massive surge of power that sends its stats skyrocketing in real time, leaving the customer absolutely stunned as the slime reaches the 9th awakening level. Meanwhile, Lu Yu's smug ex-girlfriend completely loses her mind at this impossible display, as the customer silently thanks her lucky stars she didn't listen to that toxic trash. Turning back to our boy, she tries to negotiate a discount for bringing her own food, but Lu Yu demands the full $3 million, prompting her to happily hand over her card, instantly triggering Lu Yu's system to unlock his beast taming space and award him an SSS-Rank talent, granting him the power to boost dark-type beasts and accelerate their growth to godlike levels. Surrounded by dark energy, Lu Yu celebrates finally regaining his lost beast taming talent after all these years. But to understand how he lost it, we have to flash back 12 years ago, where a young Lu Yu lay helpless on the floor, questioning his aunt's sudden, suspicious actions, revealing his wicked aunt Chuyaki, who took charge of his care with a sinister, hidden motive, admitting she only tolerated the poor orphan because of his incredibly rare S-rank dragon-type talent origin, before dropping the bombshell that his parents' fatal accident was actually a cold-blooded, calculated murder, as she forcefully extracts his talent to give her own son a dual SS rank upgrade, leaving our boy screaming in absolute agony as his core is brutally ripped from his body, and tossing him aside like garbage, cursing him to live his life as a useless nobody. Back in the present, Lu Yu remembers thinking he was destined to rot in this shop forever, remembering how he suddenly awakened a legendary pet system on his 18th birthday just days ago. Our boy realized he had to sell these unique beasts to earn game-changing rewards, which made running this inherited shop the perfect cover for his ultimate comeback plan. Now he is fully determined to make his toxic family pay for every ounce of suffering. But his bitter ex-girlfriend interrupts his thoughts by warning the customer about his supposed tricks. Stepping forward with cold eyes, Lu Yu snaps that his patience with her expired long ago, prompting the blonde to instantly panic and threaten him with a police call. Instead of getting physical, he just flashes a smug grin and tells her to get lost, though she stubbornly refuses to leave unless he can prove his skills by producing another mutant. Luckily, his system guide pops up to remind him that one more sale unlocks a massive SSS rank reward. Deciding to play along with his system, Lu Yu summons a mutated Imperial skeleton, but the legendary beast turns out to be a tiny, confused skeleton wearing red boots, prompting his toxic ex-girlfriend to immediately mock him for trying to sell literal garbage. Unbothered by her screeching, our boy proudly presents the miniature undead inside a glass jar, while the blonde continues to scoff, claiming this pathetic creature possesses zero actual power, only for Lu Yu to flash a smug grin and reveal its reality-bending potential, explaining that this tiny bone buddy can endlessly evolve into a literal god of the undead. Refusing to believe a single word, the bitter ex demands he stop telling ridiculous lies, until the pink-haired customer instantly steps in to defend him from her toxic nonsense, leaving our boy to warmly thank his new favorite customer for having actual brain cells. Doubling down on her delusion, the toxic ex pulls out her faga, a real expert, demanding that a professional manager get over here immediately to expose Lu Yu's pathetic scam. And within minutes, a transport vehicle pulls up right outside the legendary pet shop. Stepping inside is a professional appraiser carrying a high-tier fire lizard in a glass case, completely unaware that the pink-haired customer is already holding a literal god-tier mutant slime, prompting the smug blonde to wave him over with a triumphant grin on her face, as manager Yang politely apologizes for the delay while presenting her reserved premium beast. Instead of finalizing her contract, she smugly directs his attention to Lu Yu's jarred skeleton, boasting that her flaming lizard is a true masterpiece compared to his pathetic little toy. But our boy just smiles, knowing this boot-wearing bone buddy is about to shock them all. Activating his legendary data eye, the professional appraiser scans the tiny skeleton to see if it is trash, only to discover a hidden growth-type talent that allows the creature to gain infinite strength through combat, prompting manager Yang to immediately offer any price for it, much to Lu Yu's quiet amusement. Hearing this, the toxic ex-girlfriend completely loses her mind, demanding to know why he would buy literal garbage. But the appraiser smugly pushes up his glasses, declaring this tiny bone buddy could become the undead emperor. This revelation leaves the bitter blonde frozen in absolute shock as her entire reality is shattered. While back at her school dormitory, our favorite pink-haired customer happily returns with her newly purchased mutant slime, only for her blue-haired roommate to panic, warning her to hide the jelly ball before Chu Ying spots it. But their worst nightmare is already walking down the stairs, catching them red-handed with a cold glare, as she harshly reminds them of their promise to never bring useless ornamental pets into the room. This blue-haired roommate quickly steps in to defend Nianian, claiming she did not do it on purpose. But Nianian immediately fires back, insisting she did not break any rules by bringing this beast home, prompting the smug blonde Chu Ying to sneer at her choice of a pathetic slime monster, while their roommate wonders why an A-rank talent would commit such an incredibly foolish mistake. Unfazed by their doubts, Nianian proudly explains that this little jelly ball is a resource-devouring mutant, though Chu Ying just scoffs, claiming a basic slime can never surpass level 3 anyway, only for Nianian to drop a massive bombshell by revealing it already reached level 5. Still, her roommate begs her to wake up, convinced she fell victim to a total scam. Refusing to back down, Nianian prepares to show them the slime's true power right now, flashing a smug grin as she brings up the ridiculous cost of Chu Ying's own pet. Chu Ying smugly boasts about her own high-tier wolf pet reaching the 9th awakening level, but Nianian immediately pulls out over $1 million worth of premium evolutionary resources, feeding them to the little blue slime as it eagerly begins to absorb the massive energy, leaving her blue-haired roommate completely speechless while Chu Ying desperately tries to downplay the miracle, as a violent whirlpool of pure energy erupts directly around the tiny jelly ball, triggering an instant breakthrough that pushes its power all the way to the 10th awakening level. This impossible display leaves their roommate gasping in absolute disbelief at a level 10 slime, while Chu Ying completely loses her cool as her smug superiority is instantly shattered, prompting Tianyan to flash a triumphant grin and tell them the show is just beginning, as the mutated slime unleashes a massive aura, officially reaching the legendary Bright Star potential. Chu Ying stares in absolute disbelief, unable to accept that a lowly slime has Bright Star potential, and in her blind rage, she points a finger and demands an immediate battle to settle things, summoning her high-tier steel wolf to crush the little jelly ball once and for all. But the massive beast's terrifying roar doesn't even make the mutated slime flinch, as the little jelly ball unleashes a super-level crimson water spear that completely obliterates the wolf, leaving the arrogant blonde trembling in sheer terror at the impossible defeat of her prized pet. While Nianian stands tall, smugly reminding her roommate to never look down on a mutant slime. Deciding to be the bigger person, she generously offers to overlook the toxic behavior this time, prompting her blue-haired roommate to eagerly follow her, begging to know where she bought it. And by the very next morning, the word about Lu Yu's legendary shop begins to spread. A new customer with flashy red hair struts into the shop, looking around with mild curiosity. Suddenly, his eyes lock onto a sleeping dragon-like creature resting quietly on the counter. Pointing a demanding finger, he casually asks Lu Yu for the price of this adorable little beast. Lu Yu politely declines the offer, but the wealthy customer smugly insists that money is absolutely no object. Keeping his customer service smile intact, the shop owner firmly repeats that his pet is strictly off-limits. This refusal immediately triggers the red-haired guy's temper, prompting him to threaten our boy for being so stubborn. Summoning a dark, black-feathered crow, the arrogant customer orders his beast to teach the shopkeeper a painful lesson. Unfazed by the sudden threat, Lu Yu simply sighs at the man's sheer stupidity. Instantly, the little dragon awakens, unleashing a terrifying surge of dark energy that completely floods the room, and with one effortless strike, the black crow is violently swatted down and slammed hard into the floor. Coughing up blood from the sudden mental backlash, the red-haired customer clutches his chest in agony, realizing with absolute horror that his prized black crow was defeated with just a single glance. Staring at the tiny dragon, he realizes even the prestigious Lu family lacks such a legendary beast, and knowing he is completely outmatched, the arrogant troublemaker decides his only option is to flee. Bolting out the door in a panic, he flees while our boy watches with absolute indifference, sighing at how quickly the loudmouth ran away instead of putting up an actual fight. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the local hospital where the injured customer seeks immediate medical attention, only to end up holding a massive bill of $5 million for his brief encounter, prompting him to furiously complain about the short-sighted bastard who dared to cross him, unaware that the young master of the Lu family is about to take offense. Luoze looks up in surprise as his prestigious older brother suddenly enters his hospital room. This older brother coldly explains he wanted to see who dragged their family name through the mud. Terrified of another beatdown, the red-haired troublemaker begs his brother to stay far away from Lu Yu. This warning only offends the young master, who scoffs at the idea of anyone being untouchable. But Luoze quickly explains that the mysterious shopkeeper has contracted a legendary demonic dragon species. Hearing this, the arrogant young master completely freezes as his smug confidence instantly evaporates. He realizes that a beast tamer with that kind of power hasn't existed for decades. prompting him to immediately demand that Luozi lead him to the legendary pet shop. Still trembling, the younger brother warns him that even his superior strength might not be enough, only to get smacked on the head by his brother, who is actually planning to apologize. Relieved to hear his brother's sensible plan, Luozi nervously laughs off his own absolute stupidity. Knowing their family controls almost every local dragon tamer, a rogue demon dragon master makes zero sense, leading the older brother to suspect this mysterious shopkeeper has deep ties to the prestigious Lu family. Arriving outside the legendary pet shop, the younger brother points out their target with lingering dread. Stepping inside, they meet Lu Yu, who dryly asks if the loser brought backup for round 2. Instead of starting a fight, the older brother violently grabs Luozi and drags him forward, forcing his brother to bow while offering a formal apology on behalf of the entire Luo family. And to prove his sincerity, he pulls out a sleek red gift box containing a rare peace offering, presenting a brilliant glowing crystal to beg for forgiveness for his brother's incredibly blind arrogance, which turns out to be a platinum-grade skyward crystal, the perfect high-tier resource for Lu Yu's shop. Lu Yu is absolutely thrilled, realizing this rare platinum-grade crystal is the ultimate prize, especially since he was just trying to discover how to expand his own beast space. Meanwhile, the older brother casually dismisses the previous fight as a minor scuffle between children, prompting our boy to notice his aura and ask if he just unlocked a brand new slot, which the young master proudly confirms, admitting he recently reached gold grade and needs a partner. Seizing the perfect sales opportunity, Lu points toward a cage and claims to have the perfect match, offering a supposedly legendary scarlet flame chicken for the absolute bargain price of $3 million. Though the beast in question is just a tiny, adorable chick wearing miniature denim overalls. Yet to avoid any further trouble, the wealthy heir immediately agrees to buy the overpriced bird, leaving his younger brother to frantically whisper that even rich people shouldn't waste money like this. Lu Yu looks at them calmly, asking if they really think he is trying to scam them. This older brother quickly denies it, admitting he just did not understand the point of this tiny bird, prompting our boy to flash a knowing grin, claiming he only shares top-tier secrets with sincere customers. He explains that this little denim-wearing chick can actually absorb and refine any type of flame, leaving the wealthy heir completely dumbfounded by the sheer absurdity of such a broken ability. Still slightly skeptical, the young master asks if he can personally test this legendary claim right now, instantly summoning a freezing blue cold flame in his hand to see what the bird can do. But as he unleashes the icy fire, he gasps in shock to see the chick completely unfazed, which casually opens its tiny beak and begins to eagerly swallow the rare elemental energy whole. Suddenly, a majestic blue phoenix phantom erupts from the cage, revealing the beast's true god-tier potential. This older brother gasps in shock, realizing this tiny chick is actually a future Flame Emperor, prompting him to bow deeply and thank Lu Yu for this incredible, life-changing blessing, though our boy casually waves it off as a simple, everyday business transaction, before the wealthy heir curiously asks if he has any ties to the legendary Lu family, causing Lu Yu's expression to instantly darken at the mention of his former clan, as he coldly declares that he no longer has any connection to them. Sensing the heavy tension, the older brother realizes there is some serious bad blood there, so he wisely decides to take his leave and exits the shop with his brother. Left alone, Lu Yu eagerly pulls out the platinum-grade skyward crystal to begin his upgrade, instantly entering his massive beast space to unlock its true hidden potential. As the platinum crystal shatters, a blinding flash of pure energy signals a massive breakthrough, expanding Lu Yu's beast space to a whopping 100,000 square meters at Transcendent Stage 1, leaving him to marvel at how incredibly extravagant it is to level up this way. But the grind never stops, and he immediately turns to his sleeping demonic dragon next, triggering a violent explosion of crimson flames as the beast begins its own evolution. System notifications instantly flood the screen, confirming the dragon has successfully reached Transcendent grade, prompting our boy to casually promise his newly empowered partner a feast of real dragon meat, before the scene shifts back to his quiet pet shop on a bright morning, where Lu Yu relaxes at his desk, calling Nyanian to check on her slime's progress, only for her to excitedly reveal it already hit level 10 with legendary starfall potential. Nyanian casually mentions that manager Yang Qing actually shut down his entire shop just to raise his skeleton, which apparently involves sending a bunch of poor chickens into an absolute feather-flying panic. Turns out this bizarre training method actually worked, pushing the tiny skeleton straight to Transcendent Stage 1, leaving the local slaughterhouse workers gossiping about the legendary beastmaster who only slaughters poultry, prompting Yang Qing to dramatically announce to his co-workers that today is officially his final day, making everyone assume he finally realized that chopping up birds is a massive waste of his talent, only for him to proudly declare he is simply moving on to slaughtering giant pigs instead. Armed with his new gold card, he plans to secure an official butcher's license next, aiming to terrify high-tier beasts in elite facilities while his little skeleton absorbs their massive energy. confident that slicing through ultra-divine monsters will easily propel them both all the way to star rank. Lu Yu chuckles at his phone, amused by how intensely Yang Qing is taking his new butcher career. But the results speak for themselves as the little skeleton evolves into a terrifying armored warrior, making our boy realize his friend might actually become a top-tier beastmaster at this rate. Suddenly, a text notification pops up, revealing the skeleton has already reached Transcendent Stage 3, prompting Lu Yu to eagerly welcome a mysterious masked customer who just arrived looking for him. At that exact moment, another client messages to ask if he can bring his newly awakened sister, while our favorite shopkeeper relaxes with a warm drink as his tiny demonic dragon cuddles close, gently reassuring his loyal partner that they will expand their beast space for a breakthrough soon. Right on cue, a stylish new customer struts through the door to browse the legendary shop, leaving Lu Yu grinning ear to ear as he prepares to make some serious money today. A pompous rival shop owner named Jiang Chuliang struts in, immediately judging the place as a total dump. He reveals that Yang Qing sent him, demanding to see the supposedly top-tier beasts in stock. Lu Yu flashes his signature customer service smile, humbly correcting him that they only deal in high-end pets. This modest claim triggers the visitor, who scoffs at a tiny hole in the wall having any real quality. Our boy keeps his cool while the arrogant guest continues to look down on his business. Zhang Chuliang smugly demands to see these high-end beasts to prove they are worth his time, prompting Lu Yu to calmly summon his first candidate with a sudden flash of bright blue light, presenting a tiny, unimpressive green goblin locked inside a golden birdcage to his skeptical guest. This clever shopkeeper maintains a deadpan expression, preparing to explain the hidden potential of this creature, but Jiang Chuliang instantly loses his temper, accusing our boy of treating him like a complete idiot. Jiang Chuliang fumes, claiming he only wanted to see if the shop had anything actually valuable, pointing an arrogant finger while declaring that Lu Yu has officially wasted his only chance, smugly predicting that this little pet shop will be forced to close down within 3 days. Lu Yu merely frowns at the pathetic threat, completely unfazed by the rival's dramatic exit warning, only for the sound of stylish boots to interrupt their tense standoff at the door, revealing a stunning twin-tailed girl with piercing blue eyes stepping into the shop, accompanied by a powerful young master radiating an incredibly overwhelming and dominant aura. Jiang Chuliang instantly pales in shock, recognizing the elite heirs of the prestigious Jiang family, suddenly panicking as he realizes this legendary shop might actually have their backing, leaving him trembling in absolute terror since his family's business relies entirely on the Luo clan. This twin-tailed girl completely ignores the trembling rival, strutting right past him without a single glance, while her powerful brother immediately bows down to Lu Yu, respectfully greeting him as a senior, leaving the young sister blushing as she admires how incredibly handsome and youthful the shopkeeper is. This sudden display of respect completely breaks the rival's brain, making him question his entire reality, but the wealthy heir instantly snaps at him to shut his mouth before he makes things worse. Realizing he just offended the most powerful family in town, the arrogant shopkeeper collapses in absolute despair. Meanwhile, the polite young master introduces his cute sister, Luo Jingqing, who eagerly waves at our boy. Lu Yu casually accepts the greeting, keeping his cool despite the chaotic drama unfolding in his shop, though he is secretly stressing over how to upgrade his demonic dragon without any high-tier resources, prompting the wealthy customer to ask if he is troubled by that unsold goblin cage. Seeing the unsold goblin, the wealthy heir immediately offers to buy it to prevent any waste, leaving his twin-tailed sister completely baffled that he would purchase a beast without knowing its stats. But he simply declares his absolute trust in Lu Yu, catching our favorite shopkeeper completely off guard, prompting Lu Yu to chuckle and offer a proper rundown of the tiny green creature's abilities, explaining that this specific goblin can actually acquire massive strength and rare aptitudes through breeding offspring, which means the stronger the parent gets, the higher the chance of spawning god-tier descendants, creating an infinite cycle that can easily build an entire army of overpowered monsters. Hearing this, the arrogant rival nearly has a heart attack, realizing the legendary treasure he just rejected. Completely sold on the broken ability, the wealthy heir desperately begs Lu Yu to finalize the sale, pointing out that their rival dragon-taming clans only dominate because of their massive beasts. Lu Yu notes that this goblin's breeding potential could easily rival a giant dragon species, and he casually points out that it really doesn't matter who he sells it to, prompting the wealthy heir to ask if he has a specific contract candidate in mind, since pairing his beautiful sister with a rose-holding goblin would look way too bizarre. Fortunately, the young master already has the perfect pawn lined up for the job, revealing he plans to use an illegitimate son from Lu Yu's former clan, a tragic outcast who will remain completely loyal after being rescued from his family's cruelty. Hearing this dark family drama, the rival shop owner instantly begins to sweat bullets, realizing that sharing such highly confidential secrets in front of him is a terrible sign, especially when the wealthy heir turns to give him a chilling, silent glare of death. This arrogant rival suddenly panics as his senses completely fail him under the intense pressure, while the young master casually suggests disposing of the trash to keep their secrets safe, delivering a chilling warning that today is merely a gentle lesson in humility. He flashes a terrifying smile, ordering the trembling shopkeeper to keep his mouth shut, prompting the terrified rival to instantly swear he will act as a complete mute, which Lu Yu quietly notes was a very smart move to avoid getting deleted. Meanwhile, the twin-tailed sister pouts, complaining that she wants a cool beast for herself too, demanding to know why some random outcast gets the legendary goblin instead of her. Her brother quickly reassures her that Lu Yu will hook her up with something better, sending her into absolute hype mode as she imagines her future god-tier battle pet. Smiling brightly, the twin-tailed girl asks Lu Yu if he has a suitable battle pet for her. Hoping to find a legendary companion that can perfectly match her rare and elite talents, she proudly reveals her A-grade Ice Soul talent, wanting an Ice-type beast to rival her brother's chicken. Lu Yu flashes a confident smirk, assuring her that he has the perfect candidate in stock, before summoning a glowing blue energy construct to present his next high-end creature, revealing an incredibly adorable blue-accented ice fox sitting quietly inside a golden cage. This excited girl holds up the cage, curiously asking if this little fox can refine exotic ice, prompting our boy to explain that it actually absorbs exotic ice to grow infinitely stronger, sending her into absolute hype mode as she immediately conjures a swirling ball of frost, offering the pure energy to her new companion to test its legendary refining abilities. This tiny ice fox easily refines the frost, its pure white fur glowing with a light blue tint, sending Lua Jingqing into absolute hysterics as she begs to pay literally any price for it. But Lu Yu just flashes his signature smile, casually keeping the price at a modest 3 million, prompting her brother to instantly transfer the cash, while respectfully thanking our boy for the hookup. Our favorite shopkeeper waves them off with a casual smile, happy to secure another easy payday, only for a massive earth-shaking roar to suddenly echo from right outside the shop door, catching the siblings completely off guard while Lu Yu's little dragon instantly snaps to high alert as a powerful swirling vortex of wind begins to gather right on their quiet street. Lu Yu immediately senses the heavily suppressed aura of a massive giant dragon lurking nearby, realizing with a cold smirk that his former clan has finally decided to pay him a visit. Meanwhile, far away in a luxurious estate bathed in bright, peaceful afternoon sunlight, a massive red dragon rests peacefully on the manicured lawns of the wealthy clan, where an elegant but cold-hearted matriarch enjoys tea while her loyal subordinate awaits orders. She casually reminds him of his primary mission to keep tabs on our boy Lu Yu, demanding that he locate the massive fortune his parents supposedly hid away years ago. Slamming her teacup down in frustration, she scoffs at his complete lack of progress, prompting the nervous assistant to quickly kneel and report some highly unexpected news, revealing that the discarded heir has somehow awakened his talent and contracted a black dragon. This shocking revelation instantly shatters her calm composure, sending her into an absolute rage, since she personally made sure his beast-taming abilities were permanently stripped away years ago. This ruthless matriarch decides Lu Yu has lived too long, ordering his immediate elimination, while her loyal subordinate bows low, eager to carry out the deadly decree. Meanwhile, our boy's holographic system guide pops up to celebrate a major sales milestone, teasing him with a legendary random SSS-Rank beast-taming talent as his grand reward, which leaves a massive prompt floating in the air, practically begging him to claim it. Lu Yu can barely contain his excitement at the thought of stacking another god-tier ability, so he wastes no time tapping the screen to unlock his brand new power, instantly unleashing a torrent of purple flames as he awakens the god-slaying Sky Fire talent, sending his wealthy customers crashing to their knees from the sheer suffocating pressure, leaving the young master sweating in pure awe of this terrifying new elemental force. This young master trembles in panic, realizing this suffocating aura is way beyond any normal S-rank talent, while Lu Yu stands enveloped in purple flames, completely oblivious that his guests are brought to their knees, leaving the elite siblings shivering on the floor as they struggle to comprehend this godlike power. Eventually, the young master struggles to stand, admitting his legs completely gave out under the strain, politely bowing as he decides it is finally time to leave before they overstay their welcome. However, his cute sister instantly pouts, desperately wishing she could spend more time with her handsome savior, prompting her brother to literally drag her out the door while she throws a hilarious, tearful tantrum. Quiet finally returns to the legendary pet shop as night falls over the city streets, only for a massive green dragon to swoop down, carrying an assassin screaming for Lu Yu's head. But our boy steps outside with his demonic dragon, ready to teach these uninvited fools a lesson. This assassin hovering on his green dragon sneers, claiming he mercifully spared Lu Yu's life years ago. But our boy just smirks, declaring he survived the cruelty specifically to exact his ultimate revenge, sending his mind back to the dark, stormy night at his former family's luxurious estate, where a helpless young Lu Yu begged his trusted uncle to save him from the matriarch, only to be brutally struck down by the very man he trusted with his life. This heartless uncle coldly explained that sacrificing his talent for the main heir was an honor, prompting the terrified boy to scream in defiance despite his broken and bleeding body, which only earned him a brutal stomp to the back that shattered his remaining hope, while the ruthless matriarch watched from her throne, demanding to know who permitted him to leave, leaving the broken child desperately clutching the floor as his life's potential was ripped away. Standing over the bleeding child, the heartless uncle reminds him that his fate is already sealed, while the cruel matriarch sips her tea, ordering her subordinate to finish the job quickly, prompting the loyal uncle to flash a sickening grin as he prepares to ruin the boy. With a sickening crunch, he brutally stomps on the helpless child's leg, unleashing a blood-curdling scream, leaving young Lu Yu desperately begging for mercy while his world completely falls apart. but the heartless man simply grinds his shoe into the kid's hand to silence his cries, sending agonizing screams echoing across the massive estate as the family's dark betrayal is finalized. Back in the present, the arrogant uncle sneers at Lu Yu's newly awakened beast-taming talent, warning him that he faces the entire clan, though our boy instantly mocks their pathetic family name. This instantly sends the pompous uncle into a rage over our boy's sheer audacity. Lu Yu's little black dragon lets out a fierce roar, ready to defend its master, but the smug uncle simply sneers, mocking our boy for contracting such a tiny beast, pointing out that the little dragon looks far too weak and underdeveloped to fight. He confidently boasts that his own massive storm dragon will easily crush them in one hit, instantly ordering his green beast to unleash a devastating hurricane attack right on their heads, sending a massive torrent of slicing wind pressure crashing down toward the quiet street below. Standing perfectly still, Lu Yu watches the incoming storm with absolute calm and indifference, while the raging winds completely fail to scratch him, swirling harmlessly around his feet. This pathetic display of power only annoys the smug uncle, who refuses to believe his eyes, right before a massive burst of red energy erupts, shattering the hurricane and leaving him utterly speechless. Lu Yu stands completely unfazed as his black dragon radiates a terrifying crimson aura behind him. Looking directly at his trembling uncle, our boy casually asks if that pathetic breeze was his absolute best, before his companion suddenly expands into a towering beast of pure destructive fire. Unleashing a deafening roar, the massive black dragon floods the entire street with blinding shockwaves, which leaves the arrogant assassin sweating bullets as his smug confidence instantly evaporates. Desperately trying to cope, the uncle boasts that his 10th level storm dragon is still completely invincible, but Lu Yu just scoffs, calling the oversized green lizard a pathetic snack at best, raising his hand to casually initiate a legendary high-tier skill known as the Dragon Domain, instantly trapping the terrified assassin and his beast inside a swirling vortex of absolute darkness. This overwhelming pressure leaves the old man completely paralyzed, unable to comprehend our boy's godlike power. This arrogant uncle trembles as he realizes this terrifying power belongs only to legendary demonic dragons, and Lu Yu gladly confirms that his companion is indeed a high-tier demonic beast, specifically the demonic dragon of destruction, which literally feeds on his former clan's pathetic lizards. With a deafening roar, the black dragon unleashes a devastating beam of pure crimson energy, triggering a massive explosion that completely shatters the uncle's remaining sense of security. Slicing wind and raw destructive power instantly shred through the green beast's defenses, sending both the assassin and his legendary mount screaming as they are blown away, before they crash violently onto the hard pavement in a bloody broken heap. Looking down at his defeated foe, our boy stands calmly outside his legendary pet shop, while the once proud uncle struggles in his own blood, utterly ruined by the discarded heir. Lu Yu brutally stomps on his uncle's bloody hand, returning the exact agonizing pain from years ago. Smiling coldly, our boy asks how it feels to be crushed under the feet of absolute scum, grinding his shoe deeper to remind the old man of the agonizing debt he owes. This pathetic uncle desperately begs for mercy, shamelessly bringing up the childhood bond they once shared. But Lu Yu only sneers at the absolute audacity of his so-called caretaker's lies, grabbing the trembling man by his hair to force him to watch the final show, as his massive demonic dragon looms menacingly over the defeated, shivering green lizard, casually tossing the 10th level storm dragon into the air like a pathetic little snack, before swallowing the legendary beast completely whole with one single effortless gulp, leaving the bloody assassin crying in absolute despair over his ruined, eaten companion. This bloody uncle grovels on the shattered pavement, desperately begging Lu Yu to spare his life, but our boy just looks down with a cold, unimpressed expression, questioning his sudden change of heart, as his eyes flare with a terrifying, draconic red glow that promises absolutely zero mercy, telling the pathetic traitor to go straight to hell and atone for his sins there, while his towering demonic dragon steps forward, casting a massive shadow over the trembling assassin. A massive, razor-sharp claw descends upon the screaming man, sealing his fate in an instant, leaving nothing behind but a massive blood splatter and a crater on the ruined street. Lu Yu casually pats his giant companion, praising the beast for a job well done, right before his cute holographic system guide pops up to celebrate another successful victory, rewarding him with a legendary red star grade resource that floats directly into his hand. Lu Yu examines his newly acquired demonic heart, a legendary item radiating with intense crimson energy, which can instantly upgrade any dark-type pet's amethyst grade skill straight to the coveted red star grade. But before he can even celebrate, his bubbly holographic guide pops up with more good news, revealing that his accumulated points finally allow him to contract a highly anticipated second pet beast. This sudden revelation catches our boy off guard, making him realize how quickly his power is growing. Summoning his purple fire, Lu Yu decides his next companion must perfectly match his god-slaying elemental talent, flashing a confident smirk as he locks in his choice from the system's legendary selection, eagerly tapping the glowing screen to claim his brand new high-tier beast without a single second thought. A massive vortex of swirling purple energy erupts, announcing the arrival of the Violet Flame Emperor, Crow. As a majestic, flame-shrouded bird emerges with incredible potential that is bound to leave his enemies trembling, Lu Yu stares at the system screen detailing his new bird's insane fire-based talents. and our boy can't help but grin at the sheer suffocating pressure radiating from it. Realizing this majestic violet flame Emperor Crow is actually a legendary Saint Spirit grade beast. He notes that even the legendary dragon guarding their entire nation only shares this exact rank, which is a tier reserved for the 5 ultimate sacred beasts protecting the entire planet. Gently stroking its head, Lu Yu promises his new companion it will eventually surpass them all, before initiating the official taming contract with a massive glowing purple magic circle, sealing their soul bond as the majestic bird lets out a triumphant echoing screech. Suddenly remembering its massive size might attract unwanted attention, our boy activates a shrinking skill, instantly turning the terrifying Emperor Beast into a cute shoulder-sized companion to keep things low-key. Holding his cute new bird, Lu Yu confidently declares that his ultimate revenge is finally within reach. But his massive demonic dragon then instantly sulks in the background, feeling completely ignored and unappreciated. Prompting our boy to sweat nervously while telling his giant companion to stop being so petty, he quickly promises to upgrade the dragon's bloodline the second he sells his last mutated beast. Meanwhile, the adorable little Emperor Crow just tilts its head with an innocent, clueless chirp before suddenly fluttering its wings and flying directly toward the massive, intimidating beast, landing right on the dragon's snout to introduce itself without a single shred of fear, which instantly leaves the terrifying, world-ending dragon completely frozen and blushing at the sheer cuteness, as its giant heart beats wildly with pure affection for its tiny new feathered sibling, leaving Lu Yu to chuckle in amusement, noting that beauty truly is any dragon's ultimate downfall. Lu Yu presents the glowing demonic heart to his giant dragon, offering it as a well-deserved reward, explaining that this legendary resource will easily push its power level straight to the spirit grade. This massive beast lets out an excited roar, eager to devour the ultimate upgrade item, instantly gulping down the entire glowing crimson heart in one single greedy bite. But a sudden wave of agonizing pain washes over its face, causing purple veins to bulge, leaving our boy completely shocked as he realizes the dense dark energy is far too overwhelming, while the giant dragon groans in absolute misery from a severe case of magical indigestion. Telling his companion to stay calm, Lu Yu steps forward to help stabilize the chaotic power, unleashing his own vibrant spirit power to manually refine the raging demonic energy inside, which safely channels the massive upgrade directly into the dragon, triggering a spectacular evolution. Lu Yu finishes refining the chaotic energy, telling his companion to finally absorb the stabilized power. This massive dragon lets out a triumphant roar as the pure demonic energy floods its veins. Right on cue, his bubbly holographic guide pops up to congratulate him on a successful upgrade, announcing that the demonic dragon has successfully fully integrated the legendary heart and upgraded its skills. Its terrifying gaze and physical defenses have both officially reached the coveted red star rank, but the system isn't done yet, chiming in with even more ridiculous news for our boy, confirming that the demonic dragon of destruction has unlocked its absolute peak potential, granting it absolute immunity to physical attacks alongside a soul-shattering gaze that inflicts instant mental corruption. With a sudden burst of blinding white smoke, the towering beast begins to shrink back down, leaving the tiny dragon to smugly boast about its invincibility while the little crow fumes in annoyance. Shrinking back to his cute form, the little black dragon happily nuzzles against our boy's leg, drooling as he eagerly asks Lu Yu if there are any more of those delicious demonic hearts. But our boy just sighs, reminding his greedy pet that a legendary treasure isn't some casual snack. Turning his attention back to the street, Lu Yu realizes he has another immediate problem to solve: this massive pool of blood and shattered pavement left behind by his uncle's spectacular demise. Pulling out his phone, he casually calls his contact to report that the street is just a little dirty, shamelessly downplaying the absolute carnage outside his shop as nothing more than a tiny minor mess. When the cleanup crew finally arrives on the scene, they are greeted by a literal crime scene, leaving the lead investigator completely losing his mind over our boy's ridiculous definition of a minor mess, while his partner kneels to analyze the blood, deducing that a powerful dragon species was recently slaughtered here. This red-haired investigator realizes only the Lu family contracts dragons, meaning Lu Yu's grudge runs incredibly deep, and pulling off such a one-sided slaughter against them is practically unheard of. Leaving his men to handle the messy cleanup, the young investigator finally heads back home, arriving at the massive, luxurious Luo family estate under the bright morning sun. A panicked servant immediately warns him that his sister is currently throwing a massive fit, and right on cue, the angry girl storms out to confront him about his latest financial decisions, screaming that he took all their family resources just to dump them into goblin breeding. She argues that pet reproduction rates are abysmal, making this a completely brainless gamble, but he calmly explains that this highly specialized goblin can breed an entire unstoppable colony, which will serve as the ultimate foundation for their family once he takes over. This angry sister pouts, complaining that he shouldn't neglect her precious ice fox for some basic goblins, but her brother calmly pats her head, promising that top-tier upgrades are already on the way. Right on cue, a sharply dressed assistant arrives carrying a heavy, high-grade resource chest. Snatching the box immediately, the greedy girl demands to see the legendary treasures inside. Her eyes light up at the sight of rare, shimmering elemental crystals glowing with pure power, instantly declaring her brother the absolute best in the world while drooling over the precious loot. Only for him to ruin her mood, revealing these expensive gifts are actually meant for Lu Yu. She throws a massive chibi tantrum, accusing him of absolute tyranny for making her run his errands. Yet she still ends up traveling all the way to our boy's legendary pet shop, clutching the chest tightly as she realizes her brother's political foresight is actually pretty genius. This twin-tail girl is absolutely shocked that her brother is just giving away such priceless exotic treasures. But Luo calmly explains that his own taming talent would have capped out without Lu Yu's help, boasting that his new Crimson Flame chicken might even push him straight to the legendary Overlord rank. Hearing this, his greedy sister instantly changes her tune, eager to get on our boy's good side, practically kicking the shop door open to deliver the expensive peace offering with a massive smile. She proudly presents the glowing elemental crystals as a small token of her family's immense gratitude, leaving Lu Yu completely surprised since her brother already did him a massive cleanup favor yesterday. This bubbly girl waves it off, explaining that his pets actually boosted their innate beast-taming talents, which catches our boy off guard as he realizes his system pets possess secret hidden buffs, flashing a charming grin as he happily accepts the priceless treasures without any hesitation. Saying her goodbyes, the twin-tail girl cheerfully heads out while promising to help him whenever he asks. Left alone, Lu Yu inspects the rare fire crystal, realizing it is the perfect snack for his new bird. Summoning the cute little emperor crow, our boy prepares to feed it the high-grade elemental resource, offering the glowing crimson crystal to the tiny feathered beast who tilts its head in pure curiosity. But the moment it swallows the treasure, a massive surge of pure purple flames erupts, leaving Lu Yu completely stunned as he witnesses his brand new companion trigger an instant, effortless evolution. This tiny bird spreads its wings, unleashing a majestic screech as it transforms into a stunning, high-tier phoenix, while his bubbly system guide pops up to congratulate him on reaching the coveted super level, revealing that the majestic beast has officially unlocked a legendary Crimson Star tier skill for absolute destruction. Lu Yu grins at his soaring powerhouse, realizing system-bought pets are truly built different compared to basic freebies. This scene shifts to the prestigious Magic City Beast Taming University, where a quiet hallway awaits. Inside a massive lecture hall, a stunning professor declares that absolute strength is the only rule, revealing herself as Lu Luo-chan, a legendary Stage 6 Dark Moon-level beast tamer looking for volunteers. She gracefully invites anyone confident enough to step up and assist with her live demonstration, prompting a bunch of desperate fanboys to instantly lose their minds while begging for her attention. But her playful smile hides a trap, casually mentioning they will be participating in a live battle. Bypassing the screaming crowd, she locks her eyes directly onto two quiet students sitting in the back, leaving the surprised blue-haired girl completely startled while her smug classmate just scoffs with supreme confidence. Whispers immediately erupt as classmates recognize the girl as Du Ruoyun, a legendary support-type campus beauty, while her opponent, Yan Xiaopeng, stands ready to unleash his terrifying pure DPS frenzied blade werewolf. Du Ruoyun panics, knowing her support-type build stands absolutely zero chance in a direct offensive duel. Her pink-haired roommate Shen Nyanian casually roasts her, enjoying the desperate girl's misery a bit too much. Shen Nyanian offers a smug deal, promising to step in if she receives enough flattering praise. Instantly swallowing her pride, the blue-haired beauty clings to her roommate while begging for absolute salvation. With her ego thoroughly boosted, the pink-haired tamer confidently struts toward the front of the classroom. Simping classmates immediately lose their minds, cheering for their new goddess as she takes the stage. Approaching the stunning professor, Shen Nyanian politely requests to substitute for her completely defenseless friend. This beautiful instructor easily grants her permission, completely unfazed by the sudden change in lineup. Turning to the arrogant opponent, the professor asks if he has any objections to this swap. But the smug werewolf tamer just cracks his knuckles, declaring that his victory remains absolutely guaranteed. Shen Nyanian confidently summons her contracted beast, which turns out to be a ridiculously cute blue slime, leaving her classmates completely dumbfounded that a top-tier student would rely on such a weak creature. Even the gorgeous professor questions her sanity, but our pink-haired tamer refuses to back down, prompting her arrogant opponent to coldly warn her that beast battles are strictly life or death, sneering that he won't pay a single dime when her pathetic gel pet gets absolutely pulverized. While some classmates get offended by his attitude, others agree that raw power is the only thing that matters. But Du Ruoyun quietly warns her neighbors not to underestimate her best friend's secret weapon, ignoring the smug girl beside her who insists a basic slime can never surpass the awakening level. Stepping forward, Shen Nianian points at her opponent, promising to teach him a very painful lessons, which only makes the arrogant werewolf tamer laugh, eager to finally start the absolute slaughter. Yan Xiaopeng confidently summons his frenzied blade werewolf, a dual-wielding beast radiating pure crimson energy. This menacing predator stands ready to tear its opponent apart, fueled by its master's supreme arrogance. Facing down the threat, Shen Nianian prepares her cute blue slime for an unexpected magical showdown. Both tamers exchange smug glances glances as the virtual match officially begins, setting up a wild clash. Unleashing a blood-curdling howl, the massive werewolf charges up its twin blades with terrifying destructive power. And with a sudden leap, it slashes directly at the seemingly defenseless jelly pet floating nearby. But the pink-haired girl just scoffs, completely unfazed by the beast's aggressive and flashy opening move, instantly activating her slime's gold-tier azure silk skill to unleash a massive torrent of high-pressure water, which floods the entire arena, leaving the arrogant werewolf struggling to navigate the sudden aquatic trap. Refusing to lose, the beast unleashes its super-level power to execute a final desperate dual-blade strike. This massive werewolf lunges forward with its twin blades, aiming to slice the tiny jelly pet, but it gets instantly trapped mid-air by a swirling vortex of high-pressure water currents, leaving the watching students completely divided over whether this basic slime is actually built different. Inside the aquatic trap, the menacing predator begins to choke as the heavy pressure crushes its ribs, though its arrogant master just smirks, convinced the weak summon cannot maintain this spell for long, until a shocked classmate points out that the werewolf is actually coughing up a pool of blood. This sheer force of the water attack ruptures the beast's internal organs, forcing it to gag violently, before it collapses onto the cold floor in a whimpering, pathetic heap of wet fur. Yan Xiaopeng stares in absolute horror, his supreme confidence completely shattered by the sudden, embarrassing defeat. Standing tall, our pink-haired tamer flashes a smug grin, asking if he is finally convinced now. Yan Xiaopeng stares in absolute disbelief, unable to accept that his elite werewolf got wrecked by a basic slime, falling to his knees in pure despair as his entire worldview completely shatters on the spot. Meanwhile, Shen Nianyan proudly holds her cute jelly pet, lecturing the class on the infinite possibilities of taming, dreaming of the day her little slime will easily thrash giant dragons just like Lu Yu's beasts. Stunned classmates sit in absolute silence, their minds completely blown by the ridiculous upset, before they instantly erupt into wild cheers, desperately begging the pink-haired goddess for her secret cultivation guide, while Du Royun runs over with a massive smile, eager to celebrate her best friend's spectacular victory. Hugging her best friend tightly, the blue-haired beauty happily squeals that she always believed in her, prompting Shen Nianyan to proudly boast that this legendary victory was just a total piece of cake. Defeated and humiliated, the arrogant bully desperately shakes his unconscious werewolf while the girls completely ignore him. Du Royun steps forward, offering to heal the bully's battered werewolf out of pure kindness, and the humbled jerk instantly accepts, scratching his head with a sheepish, embarrassed grin, though her pink-haired roommate immediately pipes up to remind him he is getting a massive discount. But our sweet blue-haired beauty just waves it off, insisting classmates should always help each other. Summoning her own contracted beast, she activates a dazzling gold-tier spell called Sacred Radiance, sending a gorgeous glowing butterfly to shower the unconscious werewolf in pure healing energy, leaving the arrogant tamer completely speechless as his beast recovers in a matter of seconds. Watching him from the sidelines, the gorgeous professor gasps in shock at the butterfly's insane potential, wondering how a supposedly extinct, legendary species could suddenly appear in her own classroom, only for Du Royun to reveal it actually evolved from a completely worthless green cotton worm. This gorgeous professor is completely stunned, instantly suspecting a hidden master pulled off this impossible evolution, so she immediately orders the blue-haired beauty to meet her in the office after class. Sitting down for a private chat, the instructor praises the endless potential of their bizarrely overpowered pets, which Du Royun happily confirms, thrilled that her beloved butterfly is finally getting some well-deserved respect. But the professor notes that such a miracle is only possible through a master breeder's work, launching into a history lesson about an ancient civilization that pushed beast taming to its absolute peak, leaving the pink-haired roommate completely wide-eyed as she listens to these legendary tales of old. She explains how these mythical breeders could literally turn a pathetic little loach into a colossal dragon, a concept so ridiculously overpowered that it leaves our blue-haired support beauty completely speechless, though her bubbly roommate just laughs, casually inviting her to crash history class to learn more. Shen Nianyan explains that the legendary art of beast breeding has unfortunately been completely lost to history, prompting Du Royun to wonder if their mysterious local shopkeeper might actually be a mythical breeder. Hearing this, the beautiful professor gasps in absolute shock as the puzzle pieces finally fall into place, while the girls confirm that both of their overpowered pets were purchased directly from his shop, leaving the intrigued instructor convinced that a personal visit to this hidden master is absolutely necessary. Meanwhile, a sleek luxury car pulls up along the quiet street right outside Lu Yu's shop, and the stunning professor steps out to inspect the modest storefront with a highly curious gaze, slipping on her sunglasses as she confidently prepares to confront the mysterious genius hiding inside. Inside, Lu Yu celebrates his bird's massive breakthrough while his little half-dragon pet vows to surpass her, only for the front doors to slide open as the gorgeous professor steps in demanding the manager. This newly evolved bird unleashes a terrifying wave of pressure that floods the entire room, leaving the gorgeous professor completely paralyzed as she struggles to move a single muscle. Lu Yu quickly apologizes, casually explaining his little pet cannot fully control its new talent yet. This excuse leaves the stunned instructor highly skeptical that such overwhelming force is just a basic skill. Regaining her composure, the beautiful instructor introduces herself as a top professor from the university, before politely asking if he is indeed the mysterious shop manager everyone has been talking about. She explains that her students highly praised his shop, though our boy humbly downplays his achievements, prompting the curious professor to directly ask if he is actually a legendary mythical nurturer. Our boy blinks in confusion, repeating the unfamiliar title while trying to process her sudden question, but he quickly flashes a smug grin, teasing that he can be whatever she wants him to be. Looking at his system interface, Lu Yu decides adopting the legendary title of nurturer is a brilliant business move, leaving the gorgeous professor completely baffled by his cryptic response as she tries to decipher his true intentions. Though she quickly rationalizes his secrecy, realizing a master breeder would never reveal his ultimate secrets to a stranger. Shifting her focus, she asks if he has any high-quality pet cubs available for her next contract, prompting our boy to flash a greedy grin as he realizes a massive payday has just walked through his door. Welcoming her with open arms, he politely requests to hear her specific requirements before showing off his stock. Unveiling her A-rank dragonwing talent, she explains her desperate need for a beast possessing a powerful dragon bloodline, which immediately catches Lu Yu off guard, prompting him to ask about her connection to the legendary Lu family. A sudden wave of sadness washes over the proud professor as she hesitates to address her complicated past. Recalling the painful childhood memory of her father harshly scolding her for only awakening a mediocre A-rank talent. Remembering her father's harsh words, she recalls being labeled total trash for only awakening an A-rank talent. Snapping back to reality, the proud professor complains about the excessive verification needed just to buy a pet. Lu Yu secretly rolls his eyes at the dramatic family gossip, keeping his customer service face perfectly intact. He politely explains that his shop currently has absolutely zero pet cubs with standard dragon bloodlines in stock, but he quickly pivots by offering her a real living dragon instead, holding up a glowing jar. This claim instantly triggers her skepticism, since the three major families completely monopolize all known dragon species. Summoning his own pet, our boy proudly boasts that normal giant dragons are mere snacks for this beast. Hearing the legendary name, the beautiful instructor gasps as she realizes this creature's bloodline rivals the divine dragons. Eager to inspect this impossible claim, she demands to take a closer look at the mysterious glowing jar, leaving her completely dumbfounded that a legendary world-ending dragon could actually be kept inside a tiny glass jar. Inside the glowing glass jar swims a tiny, sparkling red carp that looks incredibly ordinary, leaving the gorgeous professor completely dumbfounded as she asks if he plans to cook her dinner. Suspecting the young shopkeeper must have accidentally grabbed the wrong pet from his back room, but Lu Yu just shakes his head, confidently holding up the glowing jar with a straight face. She scoffs in disbelief, complaining that this basic fish looks like a cheap market snack, prompting our boy to smirk, asking if she knows the legendary tale of the Dragon Gate, which refers to a mythical threshold where ordinary fish can instantly evolve into supreme divine beasts. He happily praises her quick thinking, noting she definitely deserves her prestigious university title, though the skeptical instructor quickly counters that this ancient gate disappeared tens of thousands of years ago, only for Lu Yu to reveal that this little carp can literally rebuild that legendary gate itself. Hearing about a fish rebuilding a legendary gate, the proud professor scoffs at the absolute absurdity. But as Lu Yu casually walks away, she instantly panics and begs him to sell it. Eagerly grabbing the glowing jar, she prepares to form a contract with the seemingly ordinary fish, which suddenly erupts in a blinding flash of light as the magical bond is successfully sealed. Feeling the incredible surge of ancient dragon energy, she gasps in absolute shock at the truth, realizing this tiny little carp actually possesses the legendary power to transcend its mortal limits. Humbled by this impossible miracle, the beautiful professor immediately apologizes for her earlier rude behavior, bowing so deeply to show her respect that her tight shirt suddenly rips right open, leaving our boy with a massive nosebleed as he desperately tries to look away. Blushing furiously, she clutches her torn collar and sheepishly asks him for one more tiny favor. Blushing furiously, the gorgeous professor asks if he has any spare clothes she can change into, and Lu Yu instantly bolts like his life depends on it to fetch a fresh outfit, imagining a horrific future where he gets arrested on national television for assaulting a customer. Wiping his brow, our boy breathes a sigh of relief for dodging a total reputation disaster. He quickly pops open his car trunk, grabbing a bag containing the perfect spare outfit, before sprinting right back to the shop to save his client from her wardrobe malfunction. Relaxing at his desk a short while later, the young shopkeeper casually sips his tea, until the beautiful professor finally emerges in her new clothes to offer her sincere thanks, prompting Lu Yu to wave it off and ask about her cultivation plans for the carp. She thoughtfully explains that her current contracted beasts cover the metal, wood, and wind attributes. This gorgeous professor explains she wants to try something completely new for her next contract, pulling out a high-grade lightning crystal to see what kind of reaction it triggers, before casually tossing the rare gem straight into the water with her new carp. Instantly, the little red fish leaps up as the crackling purple energy begins to surge, summoning a massive, legendary dragon gate that completely fills the modest storefront with divine light, which immediately triggers Lu Yu's little demon dragon to burst out of its fiery portal, prompting our boy to casually pat his fiery companion and tell it to quiet down, leaving the stunned instructor wondering why his beast is reacting so violently to the evolution. Lu Yu calmly reassures her, advising the nervous woman to just focus on raising her pet, while she stares in absolute awe at the crackling lightning gate towering right before them. This legendary dragon gate crackles with pure purple lightning, filling the entire room with divine energy. Lu Yu notes the gate is stable, meaning the carp just needs to leap through to evolve, prompting the gorgeous professor to confidently command her new pet to make its big move. Leaping from its tank, the little red fish flies through the air in a splash of water, wrapping itself in a protective bubble of water as it floats toward the crackling gateway, ascending higher and higher toward the ancient threshold where its ultimate destiny awaits. But the intense pressure of the lightning gate suddenly stalls its progress, making the fish struggle. Watching in absolute panic, the beautiful instructor worries that the impossible evolution is about to fail. Lu Yu advises her to lend the beast her strength, prompting her to activate her dragon wings talent, leaving our boy highly impressed as he realizes he might have seriously underestimated her true potential. Channeling her inner strength, the beautiful professor commands her new carp to make the leap, and the tiny fish floats upward, heading straight toward the towering, crackling dragon gate, glowing with a brilliant light as it prepares to shatter its mortal limits. Straining under the immense pressure, she pushes her beast-taming energy to its absolute limit, propelling the little red fish right through the center of the ancient gateway, which instantly erupts into a blinding flash of golden divine evolution energy. Suddenly, a warm glow envelops the professor as she feels her own talent evolving, prompting Lu Yu to casually explain that a master's power rises alongside their beast, leaving the stunned instructor completely speechless as she processes this ridiculous cheat-like upgrade, before massive fiery dragon wings erupt from her back, lifting her high into the air. Out of the blinding light emerges a magnificent scarlet thunder flood dragon, crackling with raw electricity, and its stats reveal an insane sovereign tier potential that leaves the beautiful professor absolutely speechless, though she quickly notes that a flood dragon still isn't technically a purebred dragon species, prompting Lu Yu to clarify that her newly evolved pet is actually a rare Jiao dragon variant, explaining how this unique branch of the draconic family tree can take on various serpent-like forms, before reassuring her that reaching the Overlord rank will officially elevate it to a true dragon. With the hard work done, our boy flashes a greedy grin and demands 5 million for his services, which she happily pays on the spot, eager to leave before this crazy genius changes his mind. As she happily departs with her new beast, Lu Yu pockets the cash and turns around, only to realize his own little demon dragon is suddenly undergoing a massive evolution of its own. As the dragon gate dissolves, Lu Yu's little pet absorbs the condensed essence of ancient Western dragons, gaining massive power and deep insights that make its tiny eyes glow with terrifying energy, which instantly triggers a system notification awarding Lu Yu a legendary true dragon physique, leaving our boy highly satisfied with his ridiculous new star-grade combat stats. Meanwhile, night falls over us a massive luxurious mansion on the other side of town, where the beautiful professor relaxes on her couch, still processing her unbelievable new bloodline upgrade, until sudden footsteps echoing down the hallway interrupt her peaceful evening of self-reflection, prompting her to open the door and find her respected old teacher standing outside. This elderly mentor offers a warm smile, politely asking if he interrupted her late-night rest, and she quickly steps aside to welcome her unexpected visitor into the brightly lit home. Welcoming her home, the elderly mentor warmly asks how her day at the academy went, and she beams with excitement, claiming she just discovered 2 absolute geniuses worth watching, which immediately piques the old man's interest, prompting him to ask for more details. She explains that these freshmen contracted legendary growth-type beasts with absolutely limitless potential, leaving her mentor completely dumbfounded as he tries to process this impossible news. He mutters that anyone with such a beast is destined to become a national pillar, but she casually ups the ante by revealing she bought her own pet there too. This casual confession completely breaks the old man's brain, triggering a hilarious wave of panic, and he aggressively grabs her shoulders, desperately begging her to summon the creature immediately. Obliging his request, she summons her magnificent Thunderflood dragon in a spectacular burst of lightning. This magnificent beast coils in the air, radiating an intense ancient power that commands absolute respect. Her elderly mentor nearly jumps out of his skin, instantly recognizing the supposedly extinct Jiao dragon lineage. He points a trembling finger, demanding to know if all these miraculous beasts came from one shop. She thoughtfully agrees, speculating that the mysterious shopkeeper is secretly shaping humanity's future rather than chasing profits. This prompts her to ask if their current era could actually produce an SSS-Rank Beastmaster. Gesturing toward her majestic new companion, she wonders if such a legendary powerhouse could truly exist. This old man sighs, admitting that no one currently holds that level of absolute authority. However, he reveals that a legendary SSS-Rank powerhouse did exist during the ancient Beastmaster civilization, warning her that a modern awakening of that caliber could bring either ultimate salvation or total destruction, leaving the beautiful professor sweating as she contemplates whether to reveal Lu Yu's terrifying true potential. Fearing her mentor might view Lu Yu as a threat, the professor keeps his true identity hidden, suggesting they send their most promising young beastmasters to buy pets from his shop instead, which allows them to build a solid relationship while quietly testing his true capabilities. Intrigued by her clever strategy, the elderly mentor readily agrees to go along with the plan. This next morning, a brand new day begins at Lu Yu's humble little pet shop. where our boy suddenly receives a system notification offering a massive reward for owning a shop, prompting him to pull out his phone, confident that his massive wealth makes buying it easy. He immediately calls his landlord, casually offering a cool 17 million to buy the property outright, only for the greedy landlord to reject the offer, demanding they negotiate the price in person. Lu Yu sighs, pointing out that his generous bid is already way above the local market value. This greedy landlord smirks at his phone, realizing he can squeeze even more cash out of Lu Yu, before smugly cutting the call short, declaring they will settle the final price in person, leaving our boy to sigh in annoyance at just how incredibly greedy some people can be. Meanwhile, two stylish young guys walk right through the front door of the modest pet shop, with the blonde brother immediately complaining about how surprisingly shabby the legendary store actually looks. His silver-haired sibling quickly corrects him, claiming true hidden masters never care about fancy appearances, prompting Lu Yu to casually step forward and ask if they need any help finding something, only for the blonde customer to politely ask if he can fetch the actual shop manager. Raising his hand with a calm smile, our boy proudly reveals that he is the boss, instantly leaving the clueless customer completely stunned by how ridiculously young this legendary shopkeeper actually is. This blonde brother admits that despite their prestigious grandfather, their awakened talents are totally embarrassing, prompting Lu Yu to calmly listen as he invites them to share their abilities, with the blonde revealing a basic growth talent while his brother boasts a simple tearing trait. Instead of mocking them, our boy explains how rapid growth is perfect for overwhelming swarm tactics, leaving the blonde customer absolutely thrilled as he imagines commanding an unstoppable beast tide. Turning to the silver-haired sibling, Lu Yu suggests a pet built for pure explosive destruction, though the young man sighs, admitting he has never found a beast that fits the bill. Smiling confidently, the young shopkeeper suddenly slams two seemingly empty glass jars onto the counter, inviting the confused brothers to take a closer look at their potential new partners, only for the blonde sibling to stare in utter confusion at the completely empty container. This blonde brother looks around in utter confusion, demanding to know where his swarm-type beasts are hiding. Staring at the empty glass jars on the counter, his sibling echoes the exact same question. Lu Yu just chuckles, calmly pointing a finger and telling the skeptical duo to look closer. Leaning forward with squinted eyes, the wealthy brothers inspect the bottom of the glass containers, only to realize their legendary new partners are actually just microscopic purple ants. While the blonde brother immediately complains, his silver-haired sibling wonders if these insects hold a hidden secret, prompting our boy to reveal that these tiny creatures possess an incredibly rare growth talent called engrave, explaining how this unique ability allows them to evolve into literally any form their masters desire. Smiling warmly, Lu Yu conjures a glowing constellation of data to show off their perfect evolutionary path, which the stunned brothers eagerly reach out to touch, instantly flooding their minds with divine information. This blonde brother is completely blown away, realizing his tiny ant can breed sovereign-rank army-breaking beasts, while his silver-haired sibling pumps his fist, thrilled to obtain a sky-tearing, heaven-rending ant. Bowing deeply, the wealthy brothers shower Lu Yu with endless gratitude for changing their lives. But our boy just waves it off, claiming their success is the only repayment he needs. He secretly smirks, imagining how his growing network of elite customers will soon dominate the globe, only for a loud, obnoxious ringtone to suddenly disrupt his grand plans of world domination. Pulling out his phone, Lu Yu sighs as he sees the greedy landlord calling him back, who is already standing outside the shop, demanding an immediate face-to-face VIP welcome. Our boy calmly tells the lazy man to just walk through the front door himself, instantly triggering the landlord's massive ego as he rages over the phone about the property deal. Lu Yu keeps his cool on the phone, refusing to repeat his simple instructions to the landlord, but the greedy landlord just sneers outside, claiming he already did a background check on our boy, screaming that a failed student who isn't even a beast tamer has no right to act tough, stomping his foot right through the front door with an obnoxious amount of unearned confidence. This arrogant landlord bursts inside, loudly announcing that he is finally ready to make a deal, before immediately demanding a ridiculous 30 million for the property, refusing to drop a single penny. This outrageous price tag immediately triggers the blonde brother, who roasts the man for his absolute delusion. But the smug landlord just crosses his arms, proudly declaring he can charge whatever he wants. He laughs in their faces, telling them to get lost if they cannot afford his premium rates, prompting the furious blonde brother to step forward, ready to throw hands for disrespecting his new idol. This silver-haired brother politely asks Lu Yu if they can handle this annoying small fry, but our boy warns them to keep it quiet so they don't disturb the neighbors, and he immediately summons their elite family bodyguard, Uncle Cheon, to handle the situation. This greedy landlord boasts about his own fighting skills, completely oblivious to the giant looming behind him. Uncle Cheon grips his shoulder with terrifying force, demanding to know who dared disrespect his young master. With the trembling landlord firmly secured, the loyal bodyguard asks how they should handle this trash. prompting the silver-haired brother to casually order a severe lesson the man won't soon forget, which the stoic bodyguard accepts with a cold nod, ready to deliver some serious pain. This panicked landlord desperately struggles, screaming that he has powerful backing to protect him. Hearing this, the blonde brother smirks, asking if he has ever heard of the legendary Duan family. Hearing the name, the greedy landlord instantly pales as he realizes who he just offended, and the wealthy brothers smugly confirm his worst fears with a pair of mocking grins, prompting the silver-haired sibling to casually wave his hand and order their bodyguard to clear the trash, leaving the terrified landlord to beg for mercy as Uncle Chen drags him out like garbage. Turning back to Lu Yu, the brothers generously offer to secure the shop's deed on his behalf. But before our boy can even reply, his phone suddenly buzzes with an unexpected notification, revealing a digital contract transferring the entire property directly to his name completely free of charge. This official ownership instantly triggers a system notification, with the virtual assistant celebrating his massive achievement, manifesting a legendary realm crystal core that radiates an intense, blinding blue light before him, which can merge with his taming space to construct an entire rudimentary world of his own. Lu Yu stares at the glowing crystal, realizing this upgrade will basically turn him into a demigod, and his virtual assistant happily prompts him to begin refining the core to expand his space. Standing at the center of a massive digital cube, our boy unleashes the crystal's raw power, which instantly triggers a spectacular grid-like explosion of blinding blue light that stretches into infinity. He spreads his arms wide, soaking in the sheer volume of cosmic energy flooding his senses, before the digital grid suddenly dissolves into a breathtaking, lush paradise of vibrant green fields. Summoning his massive dragon companion, Lu Yu stands proudly in his brand new personal pocket dimension, prompting the mighty dragon to roar furiously as it breaks through to Starry Sky rank, while his majestic purple bird also ascends, bathing the skies in a brilliant wave of cosmic fire. His cheerful assistant congratulates him, announcing that both legendary beasts have unlocked devastating new skills. This system displays the dragon's new skill, Dragon Realm Projection, which can suppress any opponent with ease. Our boy celebrates in pure excitement, amazed that such a broken ability is only Red Star rank. Next up is the Emperor Bird, unlocking a devastating skill that rains down endless purple heavenly fire. He beams with pride, realizing these flames pack the same destructive power as legendary forbidden spells. Returning to the real world, his newly evolved beasts stand guard as a sudden presence approaches. Glowing red eyes narrow in suspicion, instantly sensing a powerful intruder stepping right up to the shop. Lu Yu turns toward the entrance, spotting a mysterious silhouetted elder holding a cane at the door. This visitor is revealed to be Duan Xiangguo, the prestigious grandfather of the two wealthy brothers. Recalling his celestial bird with a casual wave, our boy politely welcomes the powerful principal inside. He quickly realizes that since the old man sent his grandsons, he is definitely a friend. Lu Yu watches the old man closely, wondering what exactly his true intentions are. Duan Xiangguo shivers, sensing a terrifying demonic intent hidden deep within the young shopkeeper's eyes. Yet our boy's outward demeanor is so incredibly gentle and welcoming that it feels completely contradictory, convincing the old principal that this unfathomable expert must be recruited at all costs. Stepping forward, the elder explains he has an important personal matter to discuss today, revealing that years of brutal warfare have completely shattered his personal beast-taming space. Our boy just tilts his head in confusion, questioning who spread such a ridiculous rumor, leaving the principal stunned since even basic high school textbooks teach this as absolute fact. Sweating slightly, the old man eagerly asks if the young boss actually has a solution, prompting Lu Yu to flash a confident smirk, treating a shattered space like a minor inconvenience. Summoning a glowing blue portal, Lu Yu pulls out a tiny glass container with a sly grin. He casually presents the glowing box to Principal Duan, inviting the old man to inspect it closely, leaving the legendary principal completely stunned as his eyes widen behind his glasses. Inside the glass sits a single green seed from the lowest level plant beast, a basic lush tree, but our boy proudly reveals that this tiny seed possesses the incredibly broken engrave talent. Conjuring a vibrant green constellation of data, the young shopkeeper displays its customized evolutionary path, which instantly blows the principal's mind as he realizes this weed can become a void-suppressing giant tree. Lu Yu explains how this legendary tree's massive power will easily stabilize the old man's shattered taming space, promising that all of his agonizing spiritual worries will soon be a thing of the past. Yet the old principal just sighs in defeat, quietly declining the offer as if his fate is already sealed. This old principal quietly admits he has no intention of ever contracting another pet beast, leaving Lu Yu completely blindsided as he demands to know the reason behind this sudden rejection. Our boy fumes in frustration, pointing out he already customized the perfect evolutionary path for him. But the principal sadly recalls how he sacrificed 9 of these on some brutal battlefields, explaining that forcing another loyal partner into his war-torn life would simply be too cruel. He gently offers the glowing seed back, suggesting a younger tamer deserves this legendary potential. Lu Yu silently watches him, realizing he cannot bring himself to kick out this selfless hero. Remembering how the old man sacrificed everything when the chaotic myriad realm portals first opened decades ago, leaving their weak nation to bear the terrifying brunt of a sudden, overwhelming monster invasion, forcing humanity to establish desperate defensive lines on the burning battlefields of the alien race. Over the next few years, the nation's defensive lines collapsed one by one under the relentless onslaught, forcing every single beast tamer to accept the draft and head straight into the meat grinder. And as the country's highest-ranking general, a young Duan Xiangguo had to lead the charge. He successfully contracted 10 legendary sovereign-rank beasts, but 9 of them tragically perished in battle, leaving his personal taming space completely shattered and ruined from the trauma of losing his partners. Now, any new beast he tries to contract would instantly perish in that unstable void, meaning his final surviving partner must remain stationed at the university just to stay alive. Hearing this tragic tale, Lu Yu realizes he cannot just stand by and let this hero suffer. So he gently reassures the old principal, offering a glimmer of hope with his customized solution. But the war veteran just sighs, haunted by the near-certain death he barely managed to escape. This old principal laments how the sacrifices of his fallen comrades have been completely forgotten by history. But Lu Yu cuts right through his tragic nostalgia, pointing out his regret stems from one simple truth, leaving the stunned veteran to ask what exactly our boy is implying with that bold claim. Our boy flashes a smug grin, bluntly telling the legendary hero that he simply wasn't strong enough. He explains that if the principal possessed absolute overwhelming power, no sacrifices would have ever been necessary, which deeply rattles the old man, who admits his A-rank talent has already reached its absolute limit. Lu Yu just chuckles, explaining how beast-taming space anchored by a void-suppressing giant tree changes everything, allowing him to extract raw spatial power directly from the void to effortlessly expand his boundaries. Realizing he could finally protect everyone he ever cared about, the old principal stares in absolute awe, and he humbly chuckles, admitting his old age made him blind to the endless possibilities before him. Convinced by the logic, the old principal eagerly asks Lu Yu to name his price for the seed, and our boy flashes a friendly smile, casually charging him a cool 3 million for it. But before the transaction even finishes, his virtual assistant pops up to celebrate a massive milestone, rewarding him with a ridiculous SSS-rank talent known as the Divine Source of Life, which basically makes him a walking cheat code capable of curing any disease or injury. Meanwhile, the old principal agrees to follow Lu Yu's instructions to evolve the seed first, placing the glowing container onto the counter with a newfound sense of hope. Before channeling his energy to trigger the legendary evolution process right then and there, a blinding flash of vibrant green light erupts, completely engulfing the entire shop in seconds, pulling us directly into his shattered taming space, which looks like a literal volcanic wasteland. Standing inside the volcanic wasteland of his shattered mindscape, the old veteran watches the seed glow. Suddenly, a surge of vibrant green energy erupts, cracking the barren, dry earth wide open, and massive glowing roots instantly spreading life across the dead volcanic landscape. Within seconds, the tiny weed transforms into the legendary, towering, void-suppressing giant tree. Stunned by this impossible speed, the old principal gently reaches out to touch the glowing leaves, triggering a massive green magic circle as he officially initiates their soul-binding contract. Thick branches instantly weave through the unstable void, locking the crumbling dimensions firmly in place, while a massive wave of pure, rejuvenating energy washes over the entire ruined space, completely transforming the hellish volcanic wasteland into a breathtaking, lush paradise of floating earth. This legendary veteran stares in absolute disbelief, realizing his shattered taming space is finally fully repaired. With the contract successfully completed, Lu Yu politely bids farewell and prepares to exit the restored space, but the old principal quickly stops him, raising a hand to keep our boy from leaving. Turning back with a puzzled look, the young shopkeeper wonders what else the legendary veteran could possibly want, only to be caught completely off guard when the elder offers him a spot at the prestigious university. Lu Yu instantly recalls how he was just a failed student rejected by everyone a mere 2 months ago, prompting him to shrug and casually decline the offer without a single shred of hesitation, explaining that managing his booming pet shop is already a full-time job that conflicts with school. This old principal quickly clarifies that he isn't inviting him to study, but to teach as a professor, suggesting that while the official title requires some bureaucratic review, he can easily start as a tutor, leaving our boy completely speechless since that prestigious position is usually reserved strictly for sovereign-rank powerhouses. Duan Xiangguo desperately brainstorms, even considering offering Lu Yu a vice principal position to seal the deal, and the old man is even willing to retire early just to free up a spot. Lu Yu pauses to weigh the risks, knowing that joining a prestigious academy brings massive attention, but the sheer marketing power of a professor title would make his shop sales skyrocket. Our boy finally accepts the offer, on the condition that teaching never interferes with his business, prompting the ecstatic principal to agree instantly without a single second of hesitation. He then reveals that a full professor can apply for massive state-funded scientific research quotas, which instantly triggers Lu Yu's inner capitalist as he imagines swimming in billions of dollars. On top of that, a monthly salary of tens of millions makes this gig completely irresistible, especially since he also gets free access to a massive library of legendary skill manuals. Lu Yu reflects on his unpredictable destiny, going from a rejected student to a top-tier university tutor. Meanwhile, the prestigious Magic City Beast Taming University stands quiet under the dark night sky, where a beautiful teacher anxiously wonders how the principal's meeting with the mysterious shopkeeper went. But her thoughts are suddenly cut short by a massive, unexpected disturbance in the distance, as a blinding green light of evolution erupts from the principal's private courtyard. Elsewhere on campus, the blonde brother kneels to perform a highly forbidden ritual on a tiny ant, intending to fuse his very talent origin with the ant queen to boost their growth speed, which he confidently claims will skyrocket their power levels at an absolutely unprecedented rate, leaving his horrified brother to warn that this reckless move permanently ruins his future. Our smug blonde just smirks, completely unbothered by the life-ruining risks of his high-stakes gamble. Watching from the shadows, the beautiful teacher is deeply impressed by the blonde brother's unexpected resolve. She turns around as the principal's booming voice echoes, praising his grandson's bold and reckless gamble. Rushing over to support the elderly veteran, she anxiously warns him to take it easy, but her jaw completely drops when he reveals his shattered taming space is fully healed. Grinning like a proud kid, the old principal playfully challenges her to guess Lu Yu's secret. This teacher guesses he must have used some ultra-rare, high-level spatial crystals to patch the damage, only for the old veteran to gleefully reject her guess with a massive triumphant laugh. He proudly reveals that our boy actually had him contract a literal weed instead, explaining how this legendary void-suppressing giant tree will eventually restore him to his absolute peak, meaning he can easily live for another 300 years without a single worry. This beautiful teacher claps her hands in delight, thrilled to hear the principal's legendary recovery. But the old man casually drops a bomb, announcing he hired Lu Yu as their newest colleague. This sudden revelation leaves the gorgeous instructor completely stunned, her eyes widening in sheer disbelief, while the two brothers instantly lose their minds, begging to enroll as our boy's personal students. Meanwhile, Lu Yu is busy meditating in a serene meadow, surrounded by his powerful legendary beasts. He realizes that using his 3 SSS rank talents just for basic feeding is an absolute waste, plotting a wild strategy to directly fuse these talents into his loyal partners instead, which would elevate his world-destroying demon dragon into the undisputed king of the dark hell, and grant his majestic purple flame emperor bird the terrifying ability to wield god-slaying heavenly fire. With his 3rd SSS rank talent still lacking a partner, he must find a new beast to contract. Lu Yu pulls up his system screen, noting he has 1,200 points ready to spend. He excitedly realizes he can redeem a legendary beast cub that outshines his current partners. Deciding on a plant type, he aims to maximize compatibility with his newly acquired life talent. His virtual assistant pops up to display the premium options available within his budget. She presents 4 legendary choices, starting with the majestic elf mother tree of the elven race. While this massive tree can spawn an entire elven tribe by consuming rare resources, our boy dismisses it as a massive money sink since the elven race has already declined. Looking at the sacred star tree next, he realizes planetary revival is way outside his current scope. Then there is the giant tree of war, which spawns terrifying demonic plant beasts from pure conflict. But he shivers in disgust, claiming such an evil entity doesn't suit an upright gentleman like himself. Lu Yu spots the ancient tree of life on his screen, perfectly matching his new SSS rank talent. Realizing this legendary plant can banish death itself and fill his entire domain with endless vitality. Without wasting another second, he slams the redeem button to lock in his perfect match. This system instantly processes the transaction, draining his hard-earned 1,200 points down to 0, and a glowing green seed materializes, radiating a massive wave of pure concentrated life energy. Our boy flashes a satisfied smirk, immediately prompting his system to analyze its hidden potential, revealing a Tier 3 Holy Spirit rank beast that is just waiting to be unleashed. He discovers its unique nurture talent allows it to breed an entire army of loyal familiars, while its broken plant growth skill can instantly catalyze any vegetation in a matter of seconds, leaving our inner capitalist calculating the insane profit margins of mass-producing ultra-rare spirit fruits. Lu Yu drools over the first skill, imagining the massive profits from instantly ripening rare spirit fruits. Next up is the Life Domain skill, which basically turns his battlefield into an instant healing zone. Tapping the screen reveals the 3rd skill, allowing the tree to project its full combat power anywhere. But the final skill, Star Slaying Grass, leaves our boy completely baffled by its incredibly dramatic name. Turns out this ridiculous companion plant can literally slice through the sun, moon, and stars given time. Lu Yu gasps in absolute shock, realizing his hard-earned 1,200 points bought him a literal god. He happily scratches his head, thrilled to have a partner that perfectly balances support, damage, and resources. Without wasting another second, he reaches out to initiate the soul-binding contract with the glowing seed. A massive burst of vibrant green energy erupts, engulfing the floating seed in a blinding flash, and a tiny glowing sprout instantly bursts forth to seal their legendary new partnership. This newly planted seed instantly erupts into a towering, majestic tree of pure life energy, but the sudden surge of power catches Lu Yu off guard as his heart beats wildly. Realizing he is already on the verge of another breakthrough right after reaching Tier 10, suddenly a sweet voice echoes through the serene meadow, calling out to him as its master, and a blinding swirl of green light reveals a tiny magical entity descending from the canopy, revealing a beautiful white-haired elf girl floating gracefully amidst the glowing particles of life energy. Our boy stares in absolute shock, wondering if this adorable girl is a projection of the tree, while his system screen confirms she is a clone capable of traveling outside his taming space. Smiling warmly, Luyu extends his hand to ask if she is indeed the legendary tree, prompting the cute spirit to happily confirm her identity as they seal their ultimate partnership. This adorable white-haired spirit introduces herself, politely asking Luyu to call her Anyu. Our boy repeats her name with a nod, welcoming his newest legendary partner to the team. Suddenly, she asks him to hold out his finger, flashing a sweet, mysterious smile. A glowing green thread of life energy instantly connects them, leaving Luyu highly intrigued. Turns out she is taking his aura to resurrect him if he ever falls in battle. Luyu is completely stunned by this cheat code ability, but she quickly drops a major catch, explaining that she cannot restore his 3 SSS rank talents, leaving him as a regular human. He immediately sulks, claiming he would rather stay dead than live without his broken powers. Shaking off the brief existential dread, he smiles and accepts it as a pretty solid insurance policy. Before gently patting her head and planning their massive spirit plant farming operation for tomorrow, Anyu beams with absolute joy, happily accepting her new role as Luyu's ultimate partner. And our boy politely waves goodbye, preparing to leave his taming space for the night. But a tiny hand suddenly tugs at his jacket, stopping him dead in his tracks. She nervously asks if her clone can permanently tag along with him in the real world, prompting Luyu to smile and readily agree since she can freely enter and exit, which makes her jump for joy, though she warns him her living habits are slightly different, leaving our boy completely puzzled as he wonders what weird habits a tree could possibly have. Later that night, Luyu is fast asleep when a strange rustling sound wakes him up, only to pull back his blanket and find his adorable partner smiling right back at him, instantly realizing what she meant by different living habits as she happily snuggles into his bed. Anyu looks up with teary eyes, explaining how lonely she was as a seed for eons, begging our boy not to kick her out while promising to behave like a good little sprout. Gently patting her head, Luyu reassures her that she will never have to be lonely again, which prompts the adorable spirit to happily snuggle up and cling to his arm for the night. Morning eventually arrives, casting bright sunlight over the quiet apartment complex as a new day begins. But Luyu wakes up gasping for air because his new partner is literally suffocating him. Snapping his eyes open in sheer panic, he decides he absolutely cannot take this heavy metal cuddling anymore. So he ruthlessly lifts the sleepy elf girl by her collar like an annoyed cat owner. Carrying her across the room, he ignores her confused protests as he marches toward the living room and promptly tosses his clingy legendary beast onto the sofa to reclaim his personal space. Luyu scolds his clingy new partner, complaining that her aggressive cuddling almost suffocated him to death. Sitting meekly on the sofa, the adorable spirit apologizes for hugging him way too tightly without realizing. With a sweet smile, she begs him not to be mad and promises to behave next time. Sighing in defeat, our boy lets it go and decides to check on the ancient tree's growth. This adorable response makes her jump for joy, thrilled that her master isn't actually angry with her. Scratching his head in disbelief, Luyu wonders if he contracted a legendary beast or adopted a daughter. Entering his taming space, he finds several glowing white stalks of grass growing around the massive tree. Turns out Anyu has already cultivated 10 stalks of star-slaying grass to tier 10 transcendent rank, meaning these deadly companion plants will automatically break through whenever the main tree advances in rank, proving that this support-type tree actually possesses some of the most terrifying combat power in existence. Luyu stands in awe, realizing his other legendary beasts wouldn't stand a chance against this tree. Suddenly, thick purple vines erupt from the soil, crackling with an incredibly dense aura of power. These massive plants twist and coil upward, ready to bind and crush any target in their path. Our boy beams with pride, identifying this terrifying companion plant as the legendary Thousand-Star Vine. But Anyu floating nearby sheepishly admits she can only nurture platinum-rank seeds at her current level. Patting her head gently, Luyu reassures her that buying higher-tier seeds directly is much more efficient. He flashes a smug grin, declaring that throwing money at problems is always better than wasting energy. Deciding to take her out for a stroll, he plans to solve their seed shortage immediately. This duo soon arrives in the bustling Magic City, instantly drawing curious stares from the passing crowd. Peering into a high-end shop window, he marvels at the absurdly expensive legendary goods on display. Luyu guides his adorable new partner through the bustling streets, warning her to stay close. They step inside a high-end spirit plant specialty store, greeted by rows of neatly arranged mystical flora. He notices a massive price gap between cheap raw seeds and insanely expensive fully cultivated seedlings. Normal tamer rules dictate that seeds are a massive gamble due to their terrible survival rates. But our boy just smirks, knowing his legendary tree makes survival rates completely irrelevant. Without hesitation, he orders 1,000 seeds of various rare elements to start his farming empire, before casually adding 100 seeds of hell and purgatory trees to his massive shopping list, leaving the store manager absolutely thrilled to have stumbled upon the ultimate VIP customer. This ecstatic boss presents the massive bill, generously rounding down the total to 32 million. Our boy simply flashes a sly grin, asking if his university tutor status gets him a discount. This manager politely requests Luyu's ID card to verify his official discount quota. Handing over his card, our boy patiently waits for the system to process his credentials. While the store manager runs the scan, Anyu clings tightly to her master's hand. A glowing screen flashes with a massive 50% discount, revealing his prestigious professor status, leaving the manager completely speechless as he stares at the ridiculously young genius before him. him. Yu smugly puffs out her chest, proudly boasting about how incredible her master is. Yu flashes a confident smirk, casually whipping out his black card to finalize the purchase. Walking away with a briefcase of seeds, he silently thanks the principal for the speedy benefits. Suddenly, his tiny partner tugs his sleeve, claiming she senses a rare amethyst rank seed nearby. Our boy stops dead in his tracks, highly intrigued by this unexpected treasure hunt. Yu guides Yu to a dusty corner shelf, sensing a hidden treasure nearby. She turns around with a beaming smile, proudly presenting 5 tiny withered seeds in her hands. Approaching the store manager, the cute spirit politely asks for the price of her find. This boss looks completely baffled, warning her that those useless scraps were headed for the trash. But Yu simply beams with absolute confidence, insisting she wants them anyway. He explains these are withered amethyst rank seeds of the legendary deep space fruit tree, meaning they are basically dead husks to any normal tamer without her broken growth skills. Feeling generous, the manager laughs and offers to let her keep them completely free of charge. She jumps for joy, thanking him profusely for the ultimate bargain of the century, while Yu celebrates in the background, thrilled to secure diamond rank resources for absolutely nothing. Back in his taming space, Yu stands with Yu amidst floating particles of life energy. He proudly displays his newly acquired seeds, ready to kickstart their massive farming operation. Instantly, a vibrant field of rare spirit plants blooms under the tree's insane growth energy. Our boy beams with joy, realizing these legendary crops will be ready for harvest in no time. This massive harvest will easily fund the expensive resources needed to feed his other legendary beasts. Suddenly, a nervous voice calling out from the storefront snaps him back to reality. Realizing a potential customer has actually wandered in, he prepares to make his first sale. A nerdy young man steps through the door, thrilled to have finally awakened his taming talent. This anxious rookie is even willing to sell his house just to secure a decent partner. Yu flashes his best salesman smile, warmly welcoming his very first client to the shop. A nerdy customer looks around nervously, asking if Yu is indeed the owner of this shop. Flashing his best customer service smile, our boy welcomes him and asks how he can help today. This rookie explains he awakened a C-rank talent and desperately needs a decent plant-type pet beast. Yu confidently pulls out a glowing glass jar, claiming he has the perfect partner ready. Our anxious rookie's eyes light up with hope as he takes the mysterious glass container, only to stare at a tiny, completely ordinary-looking green sprout floating inside the jar. Instantly, his hopeful expression twists into pure rage as he feels completely scammed by this shop, shouting that this is just a basic willow tree seedling instead of a legendary combat beast. But our boy remains totally unfazed. Explain the sprout actually possesses a rare blood refinement talent, which allows it to extract beast genes and unlock the most overpowered evolutionary routes in existence. This nerdy customer scoffs, completely skeptical about a growth-type talent he has never even heard of. Yu loses his patience, bluntly telling the guy to pay 3 million or get lost. This outrageous price tag sends the rookie into a frenzy, screaming about reporting this obvious scam. But his angry rant is instantly cut short when a massive, terrifying dragon suddenly materializes behind our boy. Shaking with absolute terror, the guy tries to act tough while sweating buckets under the beast's gaze, before turning tail and sprinting out the door while screaming some pathetic, empty threats. Our boy just sighs alongside his mighty dragon, disappointed that people cannot recognize true value, staring down at the glowing jar while hoping this incredible little sprout does not rot in his hands, especially since the system has placed a strict 1-week deadline on selling this unique plant, leaving him to wonder what will happen if no one buys it in the next few days. Yu holds up a vial of rare beast blood, contemplating how to unlock the sprout's potential. He carefully pours the crimson liquid onto the seedling, deciding to consult his university mentors later. Instantly, the tiny plant absorbs the essence, radiating a powerful crimson aura that promises future greatness. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the towering skyscraper of the local Beast Tamer Association building, where our disgruntled, nerdy customer storms inside, slamming his hand down to file a formal complaint. A polite receptionist looks up, calmly asking the furious rookie exactly who he wants to report, prompting him to angrily rant about a scam shop charging outrageous prices with terrible customer service. Unfazed by his temper, she hands over a form and directs him to the waiting area, leaving the petty guy grinning like a villain as he plots to ruin Yu's business. Armed with his paperwork, he marches straight toward the heavy wooden door of the supervisor's office. This receptionist steps into the supervisor's office to deliver the newly filed complaint, explaining that a disgruntled rookie has just submitted a formal, real-name report. Luoyan, the supervisor of the association, takes the document with a puzzled expression, only to freeze when he reads the name of the targeted business on the paper. He instantly recalls how the powerful university principal personally visited him just yesterday, demanding that the association protect this specific shop as the city's finest establishment. Slamming his desk in a furious rage, the supervisor curses whatever blind idiot is causing trouble, before marching straight out of his office to confront the troublemaker in the lobby. This nerdy customer looks up nervously, completely unaware of the storm heading his way. Luoyan flashes a terrifyingly polite smile, asking if he indeed filed the complaint. This angry rookie demands immediate action, urging the supervisor to shut down Lu Yu's scam shop. But Luo Yan calmly counters, revealing that the shop holds a stellar reputation backed by the university principal, before accusing the stunned rookie of filing a completely baseless and malicious report. Shocked by this sudden turn of events, the petty troublemaker instantly loses all his confidence. He nervously scratches his head, stammering that he wants to withdraw the complaint immediately. Pointing an angry finger, the supervisor warns him that false accusations usually carry a 3-day detention sentence, prompting the terrified rookie to bow repeatedly while promising never to cause trouble again. Without wasting another second, the guy sprints out of the office like his life depends on it, leaving Luo Yan to wonder if he should visit Lu Yu's shop for his own son's beast-taming needs. Meanwhile, the bright sun shines over Magic City as our hero's business prepares for its next big break. Dragging her suitcase down the street, a dejected young woman laments her endless string of failures. She failed her exams, never awakened a talent, and her own mother snatched her hard-earned savings. Recalling how her greedy parent demanded her for simply raising her, she feels completely hopeless, leaving her with absolutely nothing but a broken spirit and a heavy heart as she wanders. Her aimless footsteps eventually lead her to the prestigious gates of the local beast-taming university. Wishing she could catch just one glimpse of greatness before giving up on her dreams entirely. But a hostile security guard immediately barks at her to leave, shattering her final modest wish. Turning away with a heavy sigh, she accepts her fate as a certified magnet for bad luck. Suddenly, a vibrant crimson glow from a nearby shopfront catches her eye, radiating pure elemental energy. Stopping in her tracks, she stares in absolute wonder at the miraculous little sprout waiting for her. This dejected girl stares at the glowing sprout, feeling a strange, invisible resonance calling out to her. Meanwhile, Lu Yu relaxes inside his empty shop, completely unaware of the potential customer right outside. He sighs over his terrible sales tactics, realizing a $3 million price tag is a bit too steep. If no one buys this overpowered seedling soon, it might actually rot and ruin his investment. Stepping outside to clear his head, our boy prepares himself for another slow, profitless business day. But he stops when he spots the dejected girl staring intently at his glowing display plant. She gazes at the vibrant green leaves, completely mesmerized by the powerful elemental energy radiating outward. Realizing this is an incredibly rare plant-type beast, her heart swells with a sudden spark of hope. Whispering softly to the pot, she asks if the lonely little sprout has also been abandoned, sending the seedling into a sudden frenzy as it miraculously responds to her gentle voice. Stepping outside, Lu Yu spots the girl and casually asks if she likes the glowing plant. Panicking at his sudden approach, she frantically waves her hands while claiming she is only looking. Our boy smiles warmly, introducing himself as the manager before offering her special permission to touch it. Her eyes instantly light up with hope as she asks if he is actually being serious. Gently reaching out her hand, she feels the warm elemental energy swirling around her fingertips. Instantly, the tiny sprout flares up with a brilliant crimson and green aura in response, leaving the girl completely ecstatic as the mysterious resonance in her mind grows stronger by the second. Lu Yu watches in absolute shock, realizing this dejected stranger has a perfect compatibility with his seedling. He curiously asks if the glowing plant is trying to convey some sort of message to her. She looks up in utter disbelief, whispering that the legendary sprout actually wants to merge with her soul. Lu Yu smirks, realizing his instincts were spot on and this girl is the perfect match. He casually suggests she feed the glowing sprout a single drop of her own blood, but she instantly panics, worrying her supposedly cursed blood will ruin the plant's resale value. Our boy just laughs, proudly declaring that his word is absolute law in this shop. Reluctantly nodding, the hesitant girl prepares to take a leap of faith with the mysterious seedling. She takes a deep breath and bites her finger, bracing herself for the painful moment. A single crimson droplet falls onto the leaves, instantly sparking a wild reaction from the plant. Glowing with intense energy, the sprout rapidly grows and unfurls vibrant new leaves before her eyes. Overjoyed by the sudden miracle, the dejected girl celebrates her very first successful taming moment. Seizing the perfect opportunity, Lu Yu smoothly asks if she is ready to make the purchase. This dejected girl nervously admits she has absolutely no money to buy the glowing sprout, explaining that she never even awakened a taming talent to contract a pet beast anyway. But Lu Yu just smiles, claiming money is no issue while questioning if she truly lacks talent, leaving her completely bewildered as she stares back at him in utter confusion. Suddenly, the seedling greedily drinks her blood droplets, sparking a violent reaction from its leaves, which leaves the girl gasping in shock as the plant begins to rapidly mutate. Instantly, a massive pillar of crimson energy erupts around her, shattering her supposed curse forever. Revealing she has actually awakened an S-rank talent known as Undying True Blood. She clutches her blushing cheeks in absolute disbelief, unable to process this sudden miracle. Lu Yu simply beams with pride, warmly pointing out that her true potential has finally awakened. Lu Yu gently nudges her, pointing out that the sapling chose her to refine her legendary bloodline. Tears well up in her eyes as she realizes someone finally believes in her worth. Stealing her resolve, she looks up and declares her absolute desire to contract with the beast, but her face falls as she reveals a pathetic handful of pocket change and crumpled bills. Our boy casually waves it off, offering to lend her the $3 million price tag up front. sending the poor girl into a complete panic over how she could ever repay him. Seeing her distress, Lu Yu smoothly offers her a job to work off the massive debt, prompting her to enthusiastically accept while promising to be the hardest worker in the world. Welcoming her aboard, he officially hires his very first employee with a proud thumbs up. Suddenly, the system chimes in to reward him with a legendary resource for hitting this milestone. Lu Yu celebrates as his system guide pops up to confirm his latest legendary reward, revealing he just scored a legendary vial of true dragon origin blood from the milestone, a mythical item so incredibly rare that most people believe it only exists in fairy tales. Legend says a single drop of this stuff once elevated a guardian dragon to godhood. Naturally, our boy immediately plans to feed it to his own apocalyptic demon dragon. But his daydream is interrupted when his newly hired employee asks for her first task. Sending her off to buy groceries with promises of free room, board, and sweet sales commissions, she happily skips out the door, thrilled to finally have a place to call home. Suddenly, a cute little plant spirit floats into view and warmly calls him her master, presenting a freshly brewed pot of legendary vine tea for him to taste test. This adorable little plant spirit floats over, pouring Lu Yu a fresh cup of her legendary vine tea. Taking a slow sip, our boy instantly melts from the pure spiritual energy overflowing in every drop. At that moment, his newly hired employee returns to the shop carrying heavy bags of fresh groceries. Lu Yu welcomes her back while the cute plant spirit floats behind him to massage his shoulders. Setting her bags down, the bewildered girl stares in confusion and asks who this glowing lady is. Our boy casually explains that she is actually one of his pet beasts named Anu, revealing that despite her youthful looks, she is actually a 1,000-year-old ancient tree spirit. This mind-blowing revelation leaves the girl completely starstruck by the existence of such cute humanoid beasts. Before Lu Yu casually mentions he has to teach at the local beast-taming university tomorrow, leaving his new employee absolutely speechless that her young boss is already a prestigious university instructor. Pumping her fist with absolute determination, the new employee promises to keep the shop in perfect order. Meanwhile, Lu Yu relaxes in his room, pulling up his system panel to do some lecture prep. He browses the legendary shop, weighing his options between powerful beast tamer and ancient breeder inheritances. Finding a 7-star breeder inheritance for only 300 points, he immediately locks in his choice. Without hesitation, our boy taps the glowing redeem button to finalize the massive knowledge transfer. A cheerful system chime confirms his successful purchase, leaving him completely broke but highly satisfied. Suddenly, a brilliant green crystal shoots straight into his chest, initiating the intense implantation process. Swirling runes of pure spiritual energy wrap around him as centuries of lost expertise flood his mind. Visions of a highly advanced, forgotten era of beast breeding flash before his eyes in vivid detail, revealing that ancient civilizations once built massive academies dedicated solely to nurturing legendary taming talents. As the ancient knowledge floods his mind, Lu Yu witnesses scientists discussing a top-secret project. They stare at a massive containment tube holding a swirling vortex of pure chaotic darkness, before a computer screen flashes with a warning that their god creation project was actually successful, revealing a terrifying entity with glowing red eyes that looks suspiciously like a legendary demon god. With a single glare from its colossal eye, the entire facility erupts in a massive explosion, leaving the advanced ancient civilization completely reduced to burning rubble and ash. Snapping back to reality, Lu Yu sweats as he realizes they actually engineered the progenitor demon god. He collapses onto his bed, still shivering from the sheer overwhelming pressure of that invincible beast, but he quickly smiles, realizing he still has a very long way to go on his journey. This next morning arrives, shining brightly over his shop as a brand new day of business begins. Leaving his new employee in charge, Lu Yu waves goodbye as he heads out for his first class. Stepping into the street, our boy wastes no time and summons his apocalyptic demon dragon to ride in style. This massive beast bursts forth in a swirl of crimson flames, ready to show off its godlike power. Soaring high above the city, the terrifying dragon commands the sky while carrying its master to class. Back at the shop, his new employee watches in absolute awe as her boss flies away like a legend. Meanwhile, the sun shines brightly over the sprawling campus of the prestigious beast-taming university. Inside the hallways, students are already gossiping about the rumored 18-year-old genius professor joining their ranks today. Rumors quickly spread that this mysterious new tutor is actually just a privileged relative of the principal, prompting a smug student to scoff, convinced the young instructor is just a lazy fraud with zero talent. Even the faculty staff are whispering, dismissing Lu Yu as a useless nepotism hire before he even arrives. This elegant purple-haired lady praises Lu Yu, calling him the most powerful genius of their generation, leaving her colleague completely shocked since she never hands out such high praise to anyone, prompting him to immediately decide to attend Lu Yu's open lecture to see for himself. But she quickly warns him to drop the casual nickname so Lu Yu doesn't get jealous, sending the jealous colleague into a silent rage over this mysterious, untouchable prodigy. Meanwhile, the university hallways are buzzing with gossip about the incoming 18-year-old instructor, as a hyperactive student eagerly asks his elite roommate if he cares about the new tutor, though the arrogant genius scoffs, claiming he has absolutely zero interest in the strength of ordinary people. Turns out this smug kid awakened 2 S-rank talents at age 6 and tamed legendary dragons at 8, making it completely obvious why a peerless prodigy like him would look down on a basic lecture. This arrogant genius turns around with a cold glare, asking if his roommate wants anything else. Terrified by his intense vibe, the hyperactive kid quickly backs away and bids him a hasty farewell. Left alone, the prodigy stares down at his ancient tome with a deeply frustrated expression. He struggles to channel the sealed dragon language magic, completely unable to unlock its legendary power. Meanwhile, the massive university lecture hall begins filling up with eager students for the open lesson. Several students marvel at the grand venue, shocked that a rookie instructor secured a senior professor's classroom. Even the academy's top-tier beauties show up, eager to see if the rumors are actually true, while the powerful young master of the prestigious Luo family sits silently with his arms crossed. Joining the crowd is the principal's own elite grandson, adding even more pressure to the room, along with the top-ranked junior student, setting the stage for a truly legendary academic showdown. A brown-haired student scoffs, pointing out that even their top senior isn't qualified to teach yet. Meanwhile, Yui spots the arrogant girl who mocked her at Luyu's shop sitting nearby. Her concerned classmate asks if she feels sick, offering to walk her back to the dorms, but she instantly shuts him down, telling him to mind his own business. Suddenly, a student points toward the entrance, shouting that the mysterious new tutor has finally arrived. Luyu steps into the lecture hall, looking incredibly casual and completely unfazed by the crowd, leaving the skeptical brown-haired girl instantly blushing over how surprisingly handsome he actually is, while Yue nearly jumps out of her seat in absolute shock to see him there. Apologizing for the traffic, our boy smoothly introduces himself as their new pet cultivation instructor, warmly inviting anyone interested to sign up for his highly exclusive elective course. Instantly, an eager red-haired student raises his hand, practically begging to join the exclusive class. 2 excited girls immediately jump in next, desperate to secure their own spots in the course, while even more students wave their hands, terrified of missing out on this golden opportunity. Seeing the overwhelming response, Luyu calmly limits the initial quota to just 5 lucky spots. Suddenly, the elegant purple-haired instructor raises her hand, politely asking if she can audit his lectures, sending the entire room into absolute chaos since she is notoriously aloof and highly respected. Our boy doesn't sweat it at all, warmly welcoming her to drop by whenever she wants, prompting her to flash a gorgeous smile while thanking him for the generous invitation. Naturally, a jealous student with a terrible bowl cut stands up, loudly calling him a nepotism fraud. But Luyu just stares back with icy calm, questioning if he truly believes that nonsense. This bowl cut kid rants, claiming Luyu's cultivation level is weaker than even the top freshman. But our boy just chuckles, calling his narrow-minded focus on basic cultivation ranks incredibly superficial. Annoyed by the calm response, the student challenges Luyu to actually prove his legendary skills, prompting Luyu to step forward with a confident smile, ready to put on a show. He summons a tiny flickering wisp of purple flame directly from his apocalyptic demon dragon, offering to resign immediately if anyone in the room can block this flame for 3 seconds. This bold claim leaves a brown-haired student sweating over the sheer arrogance of his teaching style, while the smug young master scoffs, doubting a low-ranked beast tamer could possess any real power. But a red-haired student suddenly gasps, recognizing the legendary supreme exotic fire dancing in his palm. Still, the delusional bowl-cut kid waves it off, completely blind to the terrifying power right before him. Holding his purple flame, Luyu calmly watches as the bowl-cut kid steps up to test him. This arrogant student immediately summons a glowing golden sword, confident he can easily extinguish the tiny spark. Clad in shining armor and massive golden wings, the kid confidently prepares to strike. Luyu casually identifies his 3 metallic life forms, completely unimpressed by the flashy display of defensive gear. Unfazed by the analysis, the overconfident challenger points his sword forward, promising to shatter the tiny flame.